So today we will talk about this SVAMITVA scheme. This is a scheme basically for the rural India, comes under the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. So let's talk about why news. So remember that India plans to prepare a digital maps of all its villages, around the 6 lakh villages in India, and India plans to prepare a digital maps for all its 6 lakh villages. Remember that, and a pan-India 3D maps will be prepared for the 100 cities set by the Union Science Minister on the geospatial occasion. So remember that if you talk about. So that's why this SVAMITVA scheme in news. So if you talk about this SVAMITVA scheme, then remember that what is the full form? This survey of villages, Abadi, and mapping with improvised technology. Improvised technology, basically the use of drones, that is known as the SVAMITVA. So this is the full form of SVAMITVA. Is a central sector scheme. Remember that it is a central sector scheme. There is a difference between the central sector scheme and centrally sponsored scheme. Central sector scheme basically fully funded by the central government, and centrally sponsored scheme is partly funded by the state government and the central government. This is the basic difference between the centrally sponsored and central sector. Remember that. Launched on the Panchayati Raj Day, that is the 24th April 2020. So remember that. If you talk about, it comes under the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. SVAMITVA scheme, remember that, comes under the Ministry of Panchayati Raj and implemented with the collaborative effort of State Revenue Department and the State Panchayati Raj Department and the Survey of India. So this is the main body, but implementation with these bodies will take place. So remember that. So if you further talk about, then remember that it provides the establishment of clear ownership of property in rural India. So remember that what is the main aim is to basically clear ownership of property in rural India by mapping of land parcel using drone technology, that is known as the improvised technology. So it is using the drone and map the rural India villages, and that is the land in rural India, and providing a clear ownership to the property owner. So remember that. If you talk about providing records of right, so remember that provide records of right to village owner with the swans of legal ownership card. So remember that that is known as the property card, and the title card will be provided under this SVAMITVA scheme to the ownership. So remember that. So if you talk about the main objectives, then remember that basically the creation of the accurate land of records means creation of the accurate land data. So remember that in rural India. So remember that. If you talk about and reduce the property related dispute, and you know there are the many dispute actually pending in the lower courts as well as high court and the Supreme Court. So reduce that dispute related land and also provide the accurate land of record. This is the first and most objective. If you talk about, another is to bring the financial stability to the citizens in rural India using their property cards for taking loans and other benefits. As you know, if you want to loan from banks, you have to provide a collateral, something collateral, either gold, either house, property or anything to bring the financial stability. So what happened in that, if they want loan, they will provide you the ownership property card in the bank, work as a collateral, and banks will provide loan. So that will bring the financial stability in rural India and basically the rural people. This is the second objective. If you talk about the third objective, then remember that basically the determination of the property tax. Remember that, as you know, there are the property tax which would accrue to the Gram Panchayat directly in state. So if there is a clarification and accurate data with the Gram Panchayat, then property tax collection will be more and more easier. So remember that. If you talk about the creation of the survey infrastructure and geographic information maps that can be leveraged by any department for their use. If any uses is required for such records, then any department or any ministry can accrue that data and use them for the development of rural India is another objective if you talk about. Then remember that to support the preparation of better quality Gram Panchayat plan. So remember that this is the Gram Panchayat development program by making use of GIS maps. So Gram Panchayat can use that data basically for the development of rural India through the GIS maps. So remember that. So this is all about. If you talk about the summary of this video, then remember that SVAMITVA scheme is a central sector scheme, comes under the Ministry of Panchayati Raj. If you talk about the main objective is basically to survey the land parcel by using the drone technology and provide rural India to the property ownership card, which they can use at the various places either for the loan or either for the any other purpose which require that property card. So this is all about. Thank you guys. Hope you like this video.